That's right. This is Relax Radio. I'm Tim,
And I'm Matt.
and we're on the Play Store. We're on the Google Play. If you want us to get in touch with you, or if you want us to reach out in terms of what is going on in the real world, and then understand or even break it down for you, you can just call us up on and join the conversation. You can join our live sessions on 07852 473 473. Right?
Yeah.
And
And you can also download our apps, which are on App Store and Play Store. And we'd love to hear your opinion. So please do share with us, and we can have an engaging conversation on whatever conversation that you want to talk about.
So we have Samad saying hello to us. Hi, Samad.
Hi,
It's
Samad.
glad to have you online. If you're keen on understanding this conversation going further, just feel free to leave a comment and then ask us what you want to get clarified. And now talking about how we are breaking the conversation with how EU and the EU Parliament has basically backed up a trade deal. Right now, this is after Brexit. And there's been a couple of videos that have been circulating around how the EU Commissioner Chief Ursula von der Leyen, right now, she's been basically looking at overseas trade relations in the UK. And with regard to the trade cooperation, the agreement, we have a lot of news right now. Now you said those numbers were 660 to 5 votes, right?
Yeah, while 32 were absent. And like what's interesting about is that many people are happy that this is happening, and only like a small portion of this doesn't want this to happen. But the majority that wants this is really happy for this, because with this agreement there are more benefits for UK than EU, and it'll benefit both people from both sides, which is like a good thing. In fact, Prime Minister Boris Johnson is also very happy about this, and the commission president Ursula had tweeted about this as well, welcoming the EU and this agreement as well. So many people are like really happy that this is happening, because many benefits for both sides. Both parties are going to get benefits equally. And this is going to benefit in many ways. One way that this is going to benefit is for fishermen. We all love fish. We like eating fish. Fish is like one of the most tastiest snacks on the earth. Like you can eat it in many ways. But so the French fishermen, they've been trying to fish in the British waters, but then they've not been able to fish because of restrictions and all. But with this agreement being signed, they'll be able to fish over here, which means more fish for the French people.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Now we do love fish, but I mean, this just reminded me right now when you mentioned this just reminded me of this Netflix documentary I just watched it around Seaspiracy, right? Now they break down. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not saying it's inaccurate, but I'm not sure as to how far it is accurate as well on the importance of the ocean, and the fact that now we stress a lot on how trees are important for the earth's oxygen production, right? But then 85% of all oxygen production is from the sea, so it all depends on the organisms in it. So there's the whole circle of life going on in there. If it's the sharks to the whales to the down all the way down to the small fish, if it's plankton, if it's seaweed, all these are as important as the other, because if one of those channels get locked out in the life cycle, basically you can cause a domino effect and ruin everything. So I mean, it just reminded me of Seaspiracy, and talking about how people need to be crucial with regard to anything to do with fishing, and that conversation around there, right? So now this Brexit conversation, what's your honest take on how have they actually broken down the conversation around the French getting into the fishing story?
So like French people, they've been trying to fish over the French fishermen. They've been trying to fish over there, and like they've not been able to because of legal restrictions. So with this agreement, like they'll be able to fish there and more fish, like I said before. And on top of that, there's this restriction. You cannot fish for shellfish with this restriction, because they've included more rights to fishes, because like you said this about this documentary, we kind of ignore the ocean because we don't see the ocean much. We're always on the land. We
Yeah.
see trees, we see the sky, but we have to be near the ocean to see the ocean. And usually we're indoors. We don't live on waters like fishermen. So
Absolutely.
we don't notice these things that happen around us, especially in the ocean. So shellfish, they are endangered creatures. They are dying day by day. We don't notice it because we don't live in the ocean. So they put this ban that you cannot fish for shellfish. If you do, your license and restriction, you'll get banned.
You get
So
banned. You
yeah,
get
that's
banned.
that's not good,
Yeah.
because we need to take care of the earth, and it's a dying place. Like it or not, it's going to die one day. So we
So we
have to
need to
take
look
care.
after. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, Matt. I mean, now talking about how Ursula and what they had spoken about in terms of this agreement, they've basically been happy with the outcome, because it basically talks about how they're looking at guaranteeing more transparency to what is going on in the world, and our world meaning at least anything to do with the EU, and if it's trades, if it's travels inside and outside, if it is to do with the regulations as well in terms of taxes, and how she talks about the there's no failure for either side out of this deal, but it's just a consideration that Brexit and the EU will have to learn from the fact that there's so many lessons to learn out of the Brexit story alone, right? Now there have been a lot of like Matt said, there have been a lot of French threats and reprisals in terms of how the new fishing restrictions have been put in, and talking about how the Northern Ireland story is a bit of a thorny issue. So the UK economy has basically dominated in the services, the sectors, or even if it comes to banking and insurance, right? But apart from the advertising and the legal advice, what other conversations or topics I'd say have the Brexit story. What key points are broken down in this deal?
So traveling. So many people are stuck in the UK, and people are stuck, and UK people are stuck in the EU as well because of COVID restriction and problems. People have been stuck there, so their deadlines and all are coming to an end. So what this restriction does is allows people to fly from UK to EU without a visa. But this is only for short travel. There are like many restrictions, especially for people who like artists, performers. They'll have to get a visa definitely. And now this is like really good thing for local citizens, because it saves time. You don't have to spend that troublesome time getting a visa. It's really good. Only if you're going to do something like important, like perform a show, or like this big celebrity or someone, you have to get a visa, which is a
So,
little hassle.
so you mean if I am a celebrity, I'm going around the EU to perform? That's the only instance where someone would need a passport or a visa to travel around the EU. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that, and also like only people, if you're going for like a short trip to the UK or to the EU, then you do not need a visa.
All
But if you're
right.
going for like long vacations, you do need a visa.
Yeah, and especially if it comes to something around the animal, the food transportation. There's a lot of restrictions when it comes to certain UK animal food, right? And for example, I'd say uncooked meat, sausages, burgers, and even in the EU, anything frozen less than 18 degrees Celsius are very tight under restrictions. So when it comes to these, they have to be very picky, because you can be risking so much. You can be raising a lot of concern into where it is from. With the expiry date story, we just had this conversation about how Tesco was basically fined over $1 billion because of the fact that they had been selling outdated food in multiple stores, just about 3 stores, but this was happening over a long time, right? So these are as important deals, or important considerations that the governments need to cover. And talking about how the services and qualifications, there's in the banking sector, in the architecture, there's accounting, and when it comes to automatic rights to access the EU markets, or when facing some restrictions, right? Rather than just following one set of rules, or the UK, when it comes to compliance with the regulations of each country, it will be harder for every qualification gained. And talking about how the EU are looking at selling their services, and then talking about how the country's rules are trying to make sure that the qualifications are still recognized. Now when it comes back to the conversation with what is actually cross channel tensions, what channel tensions are being caused, what could we talk about this now, if there is any news on this?
There's a lot of news on this because of this agreement going on. But one thing that we can talk about is like the fishing thing. Like I said before, that cross-channel tension will be broken down. People will be able to get more fish, and many more opportunities will arise, especially like many business opportunities like trade in food, like you were speaking about, like importing and exporting cold foods.
Yeah,
Many
yeah.
business opportunities, and this will be more profitable for people who like do businesses and gain more access to British areas of UK. And
So I mean now in terms of the conversation around primarily, I'd say we'd say it's primarily fish,
Mhm.
then travel, and also if it comes to food transportation within the UK, these have been the primary, let's say, wouldn't you say that these have been the primary concentrations as far as we've discussed around what is important for the EU? And I mean, would you say there's anything else apart from this conversation here?
Yes, because the UK currently they need a lot of funds. So once they sign this agreement, the EU will be giving them more funds. So they get funds from the EU and they get more business opportunities
Yeah.
and plenty of other ways to earn money as well. So there's plenty of reasons for signing this agreement between the UK and EU, and those are the main reasons that they've covered upon, and which the Commission Minister also spoke about. In
Now, if it comes to the EU and the UK looking for money, talking about the export fluctuations and the import fluctuations over the last year, we've come to as of now, as of Feb 2020 at least, we've come to a $17.1 billion import value, and then coming up by 11.6 billion for the export market. That's about a 5 billion difference there. So if you're talking about how the concentration around the EU or UK, how they're looking at, they've been trying a lot of strategies in terms of increasing the GDP. We've been trying a ton of approaches to fluctuating or I'd say managing costs when it comes to different funds. Now with the UK alone, we've been looking at increasing the tech conversation, right? Like we just finished on the previous video, we just spoke about how the EU or the UK correct me if I'm wrong. I mean the UK rather, right? Now they are pushing for a lot of tech IPOs. So now when you push for tech IPOs, the market is basically trying to push for a lot of money in to increase our exports value, right? So the fact of the matter is that with last year, with COVID, with lockdowns, there have been a ton of problems in terms of funding, in terms of money circulation to different parts of the country, right? And talking about how until December 24th, the Brexit negotiations began. This was somewhere around in 2017, and the UK left the EU on Jan 2020, the 31st of Jan 2020, right?
yes,
And then the common rules have been basically transitioning for a period to the 21st of Jan 2021. Now an analyst, Chris Morris, he's basically spoken about how these are factors that have been in
negotiation and all, because they've been going through this for like a long time, and finally that they've come to this agreement, there's so many benefits that have come. But like the days, like the years that they were without the EU, that wasn't going that smoothly and well. In fact, Boris Johnson also spoke about this point, that this is a huge step for a long journey, which means like they've got big plans coming up for the UK. Once they sign this agreement, you can expect big things. You can expect grand plans. In fact, more business opportunities. People are going to grow. Businesses are going to grow. More finance for the country, and that's really good. Also,
now, if you are trying to see what we are, if you have any points to suggest, or if you have your own take. Now, we always talk about, this is the people's platform. We are open to your opinion. We want to know what your take is, so we can, voice it out and use this platform to basically voice out opinions and then talk about how far we can go with a new perspective, or we can add to this, and then we can even understand what the people think, because it's what the people think that matters, right? Now apart from the fact that we've come out of this successfully, that just like they've been talking about, I think people also have opinions on this. So it is important for us to talk about how if you are keen on giving us your suggestions or your thoughts, you can just always contact us on 07852 473 473. We are on WhatsApp. You can call us. You can message us. We are on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and even Twitch, right?
And
So
also, you could catch us on our applications, which are on the Play Store and App Store. That is Relax Radio. We'd love to hear your opinions, and we are all about tech, entrepreneurship, business, and finance. I'm Matt, and
I'm Tim. This is the Buzz, and if you are keen on understanding more conversation around this, you can add to it, obviously. And we'll be right back with you with another conversation around Bitcoin and crypto. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with